actually shared it to many places that hello everyone. Welcome. It is a Thursday. It is Consciousness Conversation with Dr. Thomas and myself, Melissa, evidential medium and IET master instructor teacher. So here we are, all excited to be with you on a morning. It's not even noon yet. And how are you today?
I'm well. A little tired. I just got back from the gym, but that's hey. Apparently that happens. You get tired when
You
you
work
get
out?
about an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I'm planning on taking a walk today myself. Hopefully, I'll get to see the grandbaby. It's been almost a week. That's very unheard of for us. So, yeah,
I
I'm
was gonna
jonesing.
say.
I'm like, where's my baby? So yeah, so I get it. So we are here, and that goes kind of into our talking about our topic, balance and harmony, right? She balances me out. She keeps me from being super serious all the time. Being in baby world really does take you out of your own thing. That's for sure. Howdy, Cynthia. Welcome, Tashi. Hello, everyone. So, if you're joining us from any of the Facebook groups, if you're joining us from YouTube, we truly appreciate the support. Please heart on Facebook. That really helps the algorithm, and like and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget that I have a YouTube channel at Guidance 311, and Dr. Thomas has his own channel at TDI PhD. So check him out. And he does channelings with topics that are downloaded from his guides. So it's very cool stuff that he's doing over on his channel. And for my channel, you can always check out the daily energy forecast that we do each and every Monday through Friday. I also am putting up classes, teachings on universal laws. I've got your guides and helpers coming. I've done one on your chakra system and what that's all about. That's a really great presentation. If you really are someone that's like, I've heard of chakras, but I'm not really sure, like that's a really in-depth presentation about what they are, how to maintain them, how to balance them, all things your energy body. So take a look at that on my YouTube channel if you've not done that in the Classings and Healing tab. So also information on integrated energy therapy is there. So if you are someone who is learning, you're ascending, you're wanting to get into your psychic connection, building your relationship with your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters, and you need to lighten your energy body, your emotional body, your mental body, your physical body, check out IET, Integrated Energy Therapy, where we can really help you to transform those issues in your tissues, really help you to take your healing and your life to the next level. And that's what IET is all about. And if you want more on that, you can go to my website and go to the bottom of the homepage and check out the beautiful testimonials I've been given from beautiful men and women that I have worked with over the years now. We're going on years here. So if you're really someone that's really ready to step into your healing, there is a $20 coupon. Mother20 is the coupon code. Get $20 off one session until the 31st of this month. So it's all there, guys. It's all there. So good morning, Kara. Good morning, Jackie. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is going to be Consciousness Conversation today, and we're going to talk about balance and harmony. So Dr. Thomas, what are your thoughts on balance and harmony?
So, first, I see Colleen's on, so I'll say hi to her. Feel free to, like, share, whatever you like to do, whatever that is.
Comment. Ask us questions. Yeah.
So we always never know what the conversation is going to be. And then, yesterday you were doing, was it yesterday you were doing a card, you were doing your Tuesday on a Thursday or Wednesday on a Tuesday. I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been yesterday, whatever it was. But you're playing your cards, and you kept on saying harmony and balance, and harmony and balance. I'm like, well, why don't we talk about that? Because we. Not yet. I'm ready to go right into it.
Right.
So
well,
let me start with this.
Okay.
Harmony and balance. Balance. We hear the word balance and we think of like the scales of justice, and you gotta, one side is equal to the other side, and See, I can do this all channeling. No, that is not balance. See, you think it is balance, but it is not. Balance is actually different. Balance is not having the equal parts of this and equal parts of that. It is actually having more like a 90, 95, 5 split in your life. And this is where people get confused and mixed up. It's about having your life full of that love, that light, that energy, that goodness, that peace. And then that outweighs that which is the opposite, which we're not going to talk about. And we put it this way because that's balance. You're not here in a life where you got to balance this with that and juggle things. No, you're put in a life to have peace, love, harmony, and joy. You're put into this life to have this love and live this light and love and shine and be this person you want to be. We all are. It is this restraints of the society. It is restraints of what we've been taught for decades and decades and decades and centuries that make it seem like, well, I just need to have enough good to outweigh the bad, to enough of this to outweigh this. No, because even when you talk about your granddaughter, it is not about you balances you. It's she adds to you.
Oh,
And
I like
so she adds to your life, adds to the happiness, joy. And so having that sprinkle of happiness and joy from her adds more of the sprinkle of happiness and joy. Bring your balance not to a 50-50 again, brings it back up to that 95-5.
that. So we're supposed to be having way more joy and happiness than we allow ourselves. And that's what I'm hearing.
100%.
Yeah. And we have
And-
struggled with that because the societal expectation is you strive and drive. You strive and drive so hard, and especially us Americans. And I think I know that it's very much an American thing that you have to work and you have to strive and you have to drive and you have to be doing, because if you're not doing enough. You're not accumulating enough wealth, enough network, enough whatever. And what we have to understand is it's actually that striving and driving that's blocking the blessings.
You see? And it is. And
Yeah.
so when
We're in our own way.
When we understand balance first, we understand that I go back to Woe in the Room of Lessons. And it's interesting because I go back to it and I talk about it to myself very often. Woe in the Room of Lessons, a parable that Cryon shares, talks about Woe, this being who lives his whole life, follows what the leaders tell him to do, gives his wealth away, and is afraid of what the blessings are, afraid of what his guides when they appear, and he just says no to them, says come back, and they will always come back. And when he passes the door that he has been seeing in all his life, which he always knows that's not a good door to go into, as he's been told, he now knows he can go into it. And he opens it up, and there are all these rooms in this hallway. And each one of these rooms are his blessings in abundance, all of which are available to him at any point in his life if he says yes and is ready for them and wants them to come to him and is open to it. And so I start with this because those blessings are within each one of us. Those rooms, per se, those doors, they are there. There is one door, one veil we need to cross, that we are allowed to cross at any point we want to cross. We need to open that initial door, which takes us in that hallway. And when in that hallway, all those doors, rooms of blessings and abundance are available to us. It is not an overload of joy, happiness, abundance, where you are carefree. No, don't be foolish. That is not it. What it is all the blessings you've wanted, all the blessings and abundance that you've been looking for in your life are there for you. And when you open up those doors and you allow them to be right in front of you, we then can help you take out what you need. You ready for this? Then you need it. You see the balance here? It is not about all of it overwhelming you with this, abundance of riches and leadership and joy and love and blah, 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 blah. No. It's about what you need in this life, what you're ready for in this life, what you have assigned yourself for this moment in the now. But many of us can't even open their first door. So their first door stays shut. And
No.
all the abundance that is there is behind it. And when you open that first door, that's the first step. Now you're there. Now think about this. There's a long highway with many other doors. There's a hallway. Opening up that hallway, the doors are there. And you can go in them at any point. But first, it's understanding you are a magnificent, blessed human, a being that is so loved and deserving of so much. You are entitled to these riches, to these fortunes, to this happiness, to this peace, to this, ready for the word, harmony in your life. But we have been taught, as Melissa said, not to have harmony.
No.
That we do not deserve it, that we do not have these blessings for us.
No.
When we absolutely do. And once you realize that you are so deserving and worthy of so much, and you are ready to accept it, then you must say, I am ready to accept it. You cannot just say, I'm ready to accept it and expect it to be there. You must actually feel it, believe it, and understand it. So that is why we start off with the idea of balance, because you do not understand balance, because we've been taught it's equity. Equity is different for everyone. Equity is not balance. Balance in this life and the way you are supposed to live it is about living in high love, high peace, high joy, high vibration, high frequency, whatever you want to call it, high wisdom, true, enlightened, and deserving, to balance that little bit of negative that is there, that dark that is there, because it is with you. But when you are overwhelmed in this love, and you have this light and love around you, and you live with it, what will happen is that of the negative that we do get, because it happens. When it does happen, it is not a worry. It is not a burden. It's a little speed bump. And we know what happens when you go over speed bumps driving the car. You need to slow down a little bit, and then you go up and over it, and then you're there. The speed bumps are just there, like these low vibrational things, like these shadows, the negative things that happen in your life. What is happening? What do I need to quickly learn? Let's go over this without damaging myself and go forward. Now, some of us go boom, bee, and fly into the air and damage the car, and then we have to go backwards, fix the car, and do other stuff. That happens too. But that is about the balance. The road has many more straight paths, overwhelmingly, than speed bumps. And so your balance, your life, your joy, your happiness, this abundance should be overwhelmingly positive, happy, and love. And when you start with that, and you understand that, and understand how worthy you are, that how many rooms you have that are full of all different abundance, and it's different for everyone. Not everyone has a room of abundance of riches, because maybe that's not what they planned for themselves. Maybe not everyone has a romantic and love abundance, because that's not what they wanted for themselves this life. It's different. Each one has a different understanding of peace and love and balance in your life. And so we start with understanding balance is that you are deserving, because you are magnificent. You are honored and cherished. And we are so proud of everything you do in your life. And you are so deserving of all your abundance and all this happiness. And having that is the right balance for your life. And then, when you understand you are deserving of all this, and the balance is really 95-5 or 90-10, whatever you want it to be, you can understand that having that harmony will be second nature. Because when the speed bumps come, the loss of a job, a sickness comes in, We all get sick at time to time. You have a bill you weren't expecting. Whatever it is, when you're in harmony, which is peace with yourself. Harmony is not about harmony with someone else. It's not about the plants and the bees and the trees and the humans. It is about internal. It is about peace inside of you so that whenever happens, you find harmony and peace. So when the speed bump comes in, you take it and understand it is just that, a speed bump, that you must slow down a little bit, take it in, and go past it. Not to revisit it, not to look back at it, to move forward then in peace and harmony. We talk about this, clients share this, others talk about what it is to be a master. In fact, this month and last month, clients been talking about this in his 8 aspects he's talking about. These gifts and tools. One of them is part of this. That no matter what is occurring in your life, peace. I use the word harmony today. Peace, harmony in all turbulent times is the first aspect of mastery. Mastery is the aspects and the traits of the great masters. The first one was despite everything around them, they had peace. Having that peace comes when you understand the balance, comes when you understand how righteous you are and how deserving you are. And then you understand the speed bumps are just that. And no matter what happens, peace and harmony is what you strive for. Because you know, you get over the speed bump, you've got thousands of miles of straight, clean, fresh road in front of you, where you can live before another speed bump might appear. And you are so ready and deserving of it. Loved ones, that's what this is. That's how it goes. You balance, you harmony. It is not about anyone else. It is only about you.
And I just want to kind of go back into this idea of deserving and being worthy, because I know that that is a lot of where we trip ourselves up if we're not able to feel worthy or good enough or deserving. That can be one of the imprints or the scratches on our lens that are keeping us from being able to open that door and receive everything that we have been wanting. And that is where, as humans, we struggle with getting into those high vibrational frequencies because we're not allowing ourselves to get up into those high frequencies because we're being held back by our self-sabotaging thoughts, by our self-sabotaging feelings. And this is where it's really important to really get self-aware of where you are on that vibrational scale or that emotional chart. You know, where are you falling? Are you falling down here in the unworthiness and the powerlessness and the greed or grief and anger, resentment, any of that? You know, or are you starting to move up that chart and get into contentment and boredom on your way to compassion and love? So it's kind of really important to kind of take a hard look at yourself. Where are you? Where are you on that chart? So you can start to move yourself up into the love and the harmony. And one of the things that I think that I have been brought to today in these energies post-eclipse is kind of some realizations coming in for many of us, where we are realizing maybe where we were stubbing our own toe or bumping our own nose, where we were kind of holding on to old patterns, or maybe allowing our trauma or our hurt to have the conversations with the people around us, or to direct how the conversation is going to go for us. So it's kind of really important, I think, to know that where are you? Where are you? Do a little self-reflection, do a little self-actualization, to kind of, understand why that even though it sounds great, it sounds awesome to be 95% in love and harmony, but if you don't feel like you can get there, where is it that you're falling short? Where is it that you're still kind of getting in your own way or blocking your own blessings?
So I want to touch on Cynthia and touch on that.
Oh, yeah. Let's put that up there.
First and foremost, 95% heart, peace, and love. It's not you are feeling this. Take the word love. I'm not going to channel this. I'm going to just go with it. All right. Take the word love. You do not know what love is. Stop there. Okay. It is so much more complicated, deeper than what any human can understand and comprehend at this point. So I'm going to take away the word love and switch it right now with the word peace. Find peace in your life. Now, to find peace, you must have a sense of love towards yourself and towards others. Love is, in the human sense of what we understand love, loving, that is what we're defining here. Love for yourself and for others. Love is much more complicated than that, though. But for the sake of this conversation, have that love. Find peace in yourself. Find peace in the understanding that you can only control your reactions to anything. That is all that you have 100% control over. And when you're able to understand that, and understand that no matter what Melissa does, for example, or what the person next door to you does, or what your boyfriend does, your girlfriend does, your employer does, whatever they do, all you can do is control how you react. Mm-hmm. That's the power that you have. And so when you react with peace and understanding, that is the beginning of that 95%. It's not you living floating on air and in daisies and all this wisdom. No, that is not what this 95% is. The 95% is understanding the peace in your life. It's understanding how you react to others. It's then understanding that have this love and light that you carry with you. And understand that however you're going to be, if you're going to act in love, going back to this love, that means speaking well of others. Doing as you want to do despite how you think people should behave normally. And a good example of this is if you have two options. And option A is, I'm going to pay it forward. Option B is, I could pay it forward, but why should I do that? Because they're not going to continue the path. Option A is the path. Option B is letting others dictate your thing, giving the control to others, and not acting as you want to, because you really want to pay it forward, but you're not because of others. You don't think they will. Putting that aside, doesn't matter what others will do. It's how you are going to act for yourself and how you're going to move forward. That is the trick and the key with this whole thing. The same with the idea of love. Because our natural love, we don't understand it yet. And so we need to take it back to finding that peace. Living in that love, which is going to be very hard to do in that unnatural, pure state. Because we are human at the same point. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's about that peace. And then opening up to whatever is going to be there. And saying you want your abundance, feeling you want your abundance, whatever it is to come into you. But it starts with having that peace about yourself, which starts with understanding you. Going back to, we channeled this, I'm saying this again, understanding this is all about you. This is all about your internal conflict, your peace, your harmony. You know, you could say, you can say a lot of things. I mean, I can look at myself, give examples, and I can go, woe is me, woe is me. I mean, I had another email this morning that was like, wait a minute. how is this happening again in my life? I mean, the weird things, for me, for example, with jobs I've had more than one time finalist for a job when then the CEO or the president steps down and they change their whole plans. I mean, you get to the last step and then that doesn't happen. It's happened to me twice. Okay. And recently it happened. I'm like, well, what the heck? Why is it? But it's not about that. It's like, okay, so there's a little speed bump, but I have other options. I can do other things. I could be sitting on the floor in my kitchen going, woe is me, woe is me. That's bringing that balance in the exact opposite direction because now I'm focusing on all the other stuff instead of staying that peace and harmony that is there, that is present for you. As Karen, do acts of kindness. Don't worry about getting enough. It's just about do what is right for you in love. That's where love comes in. You do it with the right intentions. And that's, it can be misconstrued a lot by people. And that's okay.
Yeah, because you can't worry about how someone's going to receive something. You can't worry about their reaction. And you're right. All you can do is understand your reaction, how you're feeling it and how you're going to react to it, and really going from that point, because only thing you can control is how you feel.
Right.
All you can control is what you're receiving and how you're receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where you can flip that script for yourself from the positive or from the negative to the positive, making sure that you are always staying in that frequency of everything is working out for my highest and greatest good. Everything that I need is going to show up when I need it. Everything is going in the right direction. If I'm going in the right direction, if I'm flowing in that 95%, if I'm flowing in the gratitude and I'm flowing in the compassion and I'm flowing in the peace and the harmony, then everything that's coming to me is going to be a reflection of that. That definitely falls into that whole, law of attraction. What you put out is what you get back. But it's also the law of correspondence, as within, so without, as above, so below. So these two absolutely are going to bring to you what it is you're wanting by matching it to you. So very important to stay in that 95% of positivity, harmony, peace, and really not letting anybody upset your peace. And that's where you can control what you're allowing.
So Karen says, don't brag. Do brag, but brag to yourself. Brag to yourself and remind yourself of the acts of kindness that you do. Brag to yourself and remind yourself regularly of the abundance that you receive. It could be the smile on a person's face if you pay something for it. It could be the smile or the thank you get when you help someone up, walk someone across the street, give someone a cookie, whatever it is. Hold those memories into you. Carry those acts with you. Remind yourself of the goodness of you. Remind yourself of the abundance you received. When people say abundance, they are automatically think of this massive riches coming. Abundance can be as simple as a thank you. Abundance can be as simple as someone being there for you that you didn't expect or didn't know you even needed for that moment. It is simple many times, but we think of abundance as it's got to be this grandeur gesture, this great thing.
It's got to be those 5 bags of gold dropping in your lap.
Right.
No.
And one of the hardest things we do is when we have these abundances, when we have those things happening, we add additional expectations. Especially when they come from another person. We add additional expectations and don't understand the true intention up front. And so being nice to someone, if you're the one getting received nice too, people automatically think there's a hidden agenda or there's something bigger. Don't think that way. You've been given something nice. It's a thank you to the universe, thank you to the person, and it's loving, and you can reciprocate, you can pass it forward. It could be something bigger, but once again, in that now, in that moment, it is what it is, and understand that balance for it all. And that will help you, because if you get in and have something happen, and all of a sudden, I'm going to use an example, I was talking to someone, and what we both needed was clear. Where the confusion happened is the expectation exceeded what the need and the timing and everything was. And so it turned from what was needed to this peace and this harmony and what we'll call balance turned into a lack in someone's mind that I don't have, because the expectation got exponentially increased based upon what was receiving of an abundance. And so we need to be careful ourselves when we receive abundance, to be grateful of it. Ask for more,
Ding, ding, ding,
but be
ding.
open to where it's going to come from and what type of abundance it's going to be. Because as we talked about the doors, when the doors are open, one abundance might come from one door, and here's a little extra riches. Then the next abundance might come from a leadership door. Here's you being a leader. Then they might find, oh, you need a little abundance from the love side, and here's a little bit of this. Oh, you want more riches. Oh, you want something from family side, or whatever it is. You have so many different doors that you will receive abundances from the different doors all at the same time and right after each other. And so asking for more and expecting more does not mean it's going to come from the same room, the same door. It's going to come from what you need. And if you don't accept it and realize it and acknowledge that, oh, I've got it. So going back to the bragging, brag to yourself. If you need to, write it down, journal it at the end of the day. What are the abundances that happen today? What did I do out of love for people today? What did I receive in return? What did I get? If you make that list and put it down and you think of the little things, you know what will happen to you? I will tell you what will happen to you. I'm not going to keep it a secret. You know what will happen? You'll write these things down. And next thing you'll know, it'll be on 2 or 3 pages long if you really thought deep about it. You don't have to go that far. You write 5 or 6 things down, you're like, wow, okay? You write those few things down, you're like, I did have an amazing day. And this abundance showed up for me. And this and this. Can I please have some more? Please continue to bring this abundance. And you will notice that. And you'll notice other things. And you'll start noticing even the little things of joy and happiness that are there in your life are ever present. And while you do that and you acknowledge that, you will see the growth happen. And you will see what this balance is, coming even more obvious to you of the higher good with that. Seeing the good in others will bring that peace in ourselves. Cynthia, I do this all the time. I don't even see the bad in others. And that's me. That is my choice. I will trust you. I'll smile. And I'll take you for your word. And I'll use and see the good in you and everyone here, everyone I talk to. And I will return that. Now, here's where people think, well, you see the good and you get, there's a difference here that I should. People that get taken advantage of, what they do is they just give and give and give, and they don't have the discernment in their life. Because you do need to sit back every once in a while and say, okay, this person's in my life. What am I feeling? What do I need to know about it? But most people that give and give and give, that get taken advantage of, what they do is they don't take that time to have the discernment. They just go forward. Now, the difference here also is when you live in love and you have the discernment, one, you have a positive disposition. You are someone that when people are around you, guess what will happen? They will feel your peace. They will feel your love and light. And then when they're around you, they will get it. And what do you think happens when they feel it and sense it and are open to it? They themselves are living back to you in a reciprocation, similar, not the same level, but similar. So you can bring out the good in them and the love in them when you have the balance in your life, because that balance in your life is very powerful and strong, and it's a love energy that truly impacts those that are around you. and you see it. And every once in a while, they will tell you it. And you'll be reminded, yes, I am balance and I am peace. And it will be good. And so that is important to remember, because we can do this the right way. But as we said, it starts with you, with balance, harmony, peace, love, all those things put together, as was shared in the comments and as we shared before. Love, I mean, Client says this multiple times. Love, you cannot define love here. It is so massive. It is so complicated of a word that we need to use so many words just to get the tip of the definition for understanding how we live.
Yeah, no, we are definitely learning and growing each and every topic and each and every experience. And that's beautiful. And Jacqueline's asking us, this quote from Archangel Ariel came from the topic of marriage and divorce. Not sure if you've spoken on this before, but could you? I know I've struggled with this. I'm not sure what you're struggling with, Jacqueline. So if you could maybe.
Because the word of love.
Oh, okay.
I'm struggling with the definition of love.
Okay.
She said that was posted a little earlier. The definition of love, we do not understand it. That is 100% correct.
Okay.
We have been taught love is kissy, la 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 la, and then we were given stereotypes. And so society says, oh, love is this, and it's only between, you only can have love between one and two people. Then you have your kids. There's so many different forms of love, so many versions of love. You must love yourself. I know. I said don't use the word love. You must be peace and harmony and know who you are. So in the word of the definition of what we think is love, you must love yourself first. When you bring on another, a relationship is not about a long-term, you're with this person for the rest of your life. No. You're not. All right, before you hate me. A relationship is built upon the moments of now. Now is infinite. When you live, when you grow, love is so more complicated. So in a marriage is not about love. It is about communication, expectations,
trust,
a partnership, a trust, being yourself, responsibility, so many different things when it comes to it. But it always comes down to a simple thing. In this moment of the now that you are living, are you living your true self? And are you growing with the person that you are in a relationship with? And do you see that going? And do you want that to go forward? And is it going forward in a symbiotic way that you can stay and should stay together as a relationship of whatever means it currently is, or has it changed and transformed? We are afraid of change. We are afraid of transformation. We are afraid of making things different. And that is a big problem that we have when it comes to love and divorce and marriages, because it's okay. Believe it or not, it is okay to move on.
Right, okay. Because a lot of people are stuck in that whole religion, right? Box of what marriage and love society, should be.
It's what we were defined it should be, that we should be with one person. And then the problem that comes up with it is, yes, check the light and dim. It's not about the light dimming. It's not about the light dimming. It is about the paths, the journeys separating. Yeah. It is, and it starts a lot with how it started. Many relationships start with facades and false dichotomies.
The mask.
And so you start with these lies underneath, because you're not being yourself to yourself. When you get too far into the relationship, you are now into a, oh my goodness, oh shit, what am I going to do with my life? But I'm going to settle. I don't want to be anymore. And then you both stop that really good communication. And this is not all, this is in the average. Stop that communication. And now you get two separate paths going on. And it turns into, ready for this, more of a business partnership.
Transaction.
And so now this is romantic. Now friends and stuff can be the same way, and it's okay. That's why you see it's much easier for friends to grow apart, especially when some friends get married and have kids, and some friends don't. You start seeing, oh, we haven't talked to them, we can't hang out because your life changed, you grew, and here's the thing: you accepted that growth happened, and you're in different places. In a marriage, in a business partner, in a relationship, we can't accept the fact that people can change and grow. But that's what happens. And then when we get into those facades in the beginning and the beginning of that, we both think we can change the other one. We also don't realize that we put down on paper what we think the other one wants to hear. You go to pre-Cana. Pre-Cana, for those that are Catholic, is when you meet and you have these discussions and make sure you're ready to get married. Okay, you go to pre-Cana. You're given the facade answers. What is the answer you think they want to hear? What is the answers you want to hear? You're given this facade. Instead, those facade comes out. You haven't bought into those facades. They're grand gestures and ideas you think about. And then you start the relationship and get to the next stage, and you all of a sudden you're reverting back to your natural state. And so it started off as a symbiotic here. You start going like this, and all of a sudden you start going like this. And here's the thing, it's okay. Now the real key with that goes back to what we talked about in the beginning. Balance. And understanding that it is okay. And that you will be okay. That the speed bump in front of you leads to miles upon miles of clear, clean road. And the really weird thing about this, I'm trying to think of the right word. The weird thing about this is the partnership you have. You can go like this, and you can go on the same speed bump, and you can then go back to each other. That can happen. It's about how you grow again and your choices and how you grow and working together. But many times you get, especially in relationships, that speed bump, and that speed bump turns into a mountain because you explode and attack the other one instead of accepting the change happened, who you are and where you are in your life, and then saying, how can we work together? And we take things so personally. And that is a big thing. When we take things so personally, we are letting the other person attack us. And there are little things they might do that have, let's go back to the intentions I had a little earlier. What we then see in action done, we put an expectation on that well beyond what the intention was. And then that blows in our minds everything out of a proportion. And now we start adding these boulders upon boulders upon boulders upon boulders, making things irreversible. Because we can't. We're piling all this stuff, putting this on. And what we need to do ourselves is accept what they do, the things they do, good intentions. It's okay. Someone can cheat. That doesn't mean they're a bad person. It means maybe there was things that need to happen in their life that they're missing and they're on a different path. Things you need to happen in your life. How can you get them together? And it's your choice then of how you move forward, how you stay with them or you don't stay with them. It's your choice. It isn't a choice that's being thrust upon you. And then we also get those situations where, oh my goodness, I cannot live without this person, but they have moved on to someone else. That's your choice. You are choosing to throw your energy towards that instead of throwing it back towards you and seeing what can happen if you love yourself and create that balance back in your life. So this whole idea of love, this whole idea of relationship, for me, that it is so complicated, so multifaceted, so diverse, so many different little components that come to it, and everyone is absolutely different. But the idea of love is not the ingredient for any of these relationships to work or fail, and how humans define what love is.
Right. And that's really what it comes down to. Because if you're loving yourself and you're staying in high vibrational frequency, whatever happens in the relationship, you'll be able to navigate. And whether that's stay together or go in separate roads, you'll be able to do that with love and compassion. But if you're holding on to that ideal that's not real, that's when you end up hurting yourself. And I have talked to so many people who are holding on to those ideals that they're ultimately hurting themselves. The other person isn't hurting them, they're hurting themselves. So this is a big subject, and maybe we'll come back to this, but we are out of time. So thank you, everyone.
Next week will be we'll have to do it maybe a day early or something like that, because I'll be on a plane in 1 week from now.
Oh, where are we going?
I'm going to Aruba.
Nice.
I'll be on a plane flying away.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Keep me posted. Let me know what you want to do. All right,
last year, we did do a live last year from the pool.
We did. Yes, we did.
I was in the pool. I found the shade, found the area I could talk.
Yeah.
The waterfall's behind me.
We'll see.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. If you're really struggling with any of these topics, or you're really struggling with raising your own frequency, please check out my website, guidance311.com, and how I can help you. All right, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. We'll talk soon.